Good morning. My name's Diane Hopkins. I'm a member of your vestry board, and pleased to be able to welcome you this morning to the Unitarian Church in Charleston. Whether you're visiting today in person or online, please know that you're welcome to be a part of our progressive community. With our church's mission is to be an inclusive community of inspiration, love, and service, committed to creating a better world. If you're a visitor interested in learning more about our church or membership, or if you'd like to receive our weekly Gateway newsletter, you can fill out the blue visitor's card in the pew in front of you and place it in the offering basket. For virtual guests, you can also, or if you prefer doing something digitally, you can just go online to our website, charlestonuu.org, and click on the Get to Know Us to fill out a digital card, or navigate directly to the newsletter sign-up to subscribe to the Gateway and to stay informed about all the activities that are going on in this community. In today's order of service, you'll see some inserts about different announcements. A couple of special things to note today in coffee hour, which is in Gage Hall right next door. There will be a bake sale and candy sale, so hope you all will stop by there and spend your money. Before we begin, if you could please, everyone silence your noise-making devices and set them to worship mode. And we have a couple of special announcements today from two Amy's. So, Amy and Amy. Are you both here? Let's see, I see one Amy, so we'll start with you, Amy. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll fill in for the other Amy, so for this moment, I'm Amy. Amy was going to give an announcement about CAJM. There's a network meeting, which is coming up on Thursday, February 19th, and it'll be in Gage Hall, so we hope you all come, and if you've been curious about CAJM, you want to know more about it, or if you've been a longtime member, it's a good time to come and get to know other churches, because we will all be gathering. There's about 6 or 7 congregations that will be gathering in Gage Hall for that. And if you are interested in learning more about becoming a member of this congregation, there is a new member class immediately following the service upstairs in Gage Hall today. So, Amy.
Friends, Unitarians, fellow citizens, lend me your ears. I come not only to praise our vestry board, but also to recruit for it. The vestry board is our church's governing body, where the long tradition of participatory democracy by the Greeks, started by the Greeks and adopted by the early Romans, continues. In these early systems, term limits were short and citizens rotated leadership roles. You now have the opportunity to take your turn making self-governance work. The terms of service for 3 vestry board members will end soon. The good that people do lives after them. So let it be with our board members, for they are honorable people. All people who've served on the vestry board, past and present, please stand. They committed to the tradition of participatory democracy. They heeded the call of service required of all citizens. They recognized that we are all leaders with unique gifts. The question for today, my fellow Unitarians, is will you join them? Oh, Unitarians, if I were to stir your hearts and minds to commitment and service, I would be doing justice to the centuries of Unitarians before us who chose to govern themselves, who rejected authoritarian rule, and who modeled democracy for all to see. Over the next few weeks, you will hear from current and past vestry board members, so you can learn the impact you can make, the advocacy you could do, the innovation you could introduce. You will have the opportunity to ask questions and submit forms at the nominating committee table in Gage Hall after the service. This is your call to service. I beseech that you answer. Thank you.
And now let's take a minute to greet your neighbor.
Some of us have arrived here today eager to greet friends and make new ones, craving community. Some of us have arrived here today after a good week, ready to celebrate. And some of us have arrived here today with heavy hearts, grieving a personal loss or navigating a difficult time. However you have arrived here today, whatever is on your heart, it is welcome in this place as we enter into a shared time of cultivating resilience and renewing hope. We will begin with a poem by Mary Oliver. That time I thought I could not go any closer to grief without dying, I went closer, and I did not die. Surely God had God's hand in this, as well as friends. Still, I was bent, and my laughter, as the poet said, was nowhere to be found. Then said my friend Daniel, brave even among lions, "It's not the weight you carry, but how you carry it. Books, bricks, grief. It's all in the way you embrace it, balance it, carry it when you cannot and would not put it down." So I went practicing. Have you noticed? Have you heard the laughter that comes now and again out of my startled mouth? How I linger to admire the things of this world that are kind and maybe also troubled. Roses in the wind, the sea geese on the steep waves, a love to which there is no reply.
At this time, I would like to welcome Danielle Lopez and Kevin Gainey to ignite our chalice flame. For those of you joining us virtually, we invite you to light a candle at home and join us in this sacred ritual. The usual suspects wilt and die: basil, of course, and beans, potatoes, zinnias, nasturtiums, marigolds. I find myself staring at the beet greens, spinach, and arugula, marveling at how they thrive, impervious to cold. I have a craving for resilience. I put the dark leaves to my mouth, devour the green communion. It tastes like survival, so bitter, so bright. Please rise as you are able and join in hymn number 347, Gather the Spirit.
Spirit, Good morning. So this is our story for all ages. So if you're a kid of any age and you want to come sit up with us so you can see the pictures. And I have 3 friends from our religious education class, Marseille, Harper, and Sophia, and they're going to read with us today. The book is called Everything Changes and That's Okay.
Rain falls from clouds in the sky. The sun appears, making everything dry. Raindrops caught in a sunny beam. A rainbow shimmers like in a dream.
The moon is full, but then it's gone, chased away by the dawn. Stars that shine all through the night disappear in morning's light.
Everything changes night to day. Everything changes, and that's okay. We eat an apple, then plant the seeds, water carefully, pull up the weeds. A tree grows tall and strong. Shiny new apples appear before long.
A yellow dandelion flower slowly withers, hour by hour, becoming fluffy seeds of white, finally floating out of sight.
Everything changes day to night. Everything changes, and that's all right. A kitten who loves to chase and scrounge becomes a cat who lives to lounge. A puppy who only wants to play grows into a dog who sleeps all day.
We read a book and turn each page, learn more each day as we age. Black hair slowly turns to gray, wrinkles come that won't go away.
Everything changes, this is true, everything changes, even you. A new school might feel real strange. Friendships sometimes rearrange. Your best friend may move away, but new friends will come to stay.
You build a sandcastle all day, then the wave washes it away. Your favorite game becomes a bore. You don't want to play it anymore.
Everything changes, it's the natural way. Everything changes, and that's okay. You might feel sad for quite a while, then something happens to make you smile. You feel embarrassed and close your eyes, but then confidence returns, a nice surprise.
Morning comes with yellow sun, the house pass, and the day is done. Everything changes day and night, everything changes, and that's all right.
Stars shine brightly, sharp and clear, then fade away, then morning near. Every day, everything changes, night to day, everything changes, and that's okay.
The end.
Thank you to our wonderful readers for sharing that story with us. We're going to continue now in worship in a spirit of reverence. So I invite you to take a deep breath and find yourself ready to receive the entries from our Book of Life. We've received word from the brother of Fran Ennis that Fran has relocated to a skilled nursing facility in Johnson City, Tennessee, after suffering a stroke last month. She would enjoy receiving cards from her Charleston UU friends. We all fondly remember Fran, her delicious okra roll-ups, and her work with the Eden Keepers, and we wish her the best in her new home. You can contact the office for her brother's address. We'll continue now by lifting up whatever it is that is on your heart. And if you want to call to mind someone you're holding in prayer today, whether it's someone you're caring for or worried about or someone you're celebrating, feel free to just, and it might be yourself, so that's good too. Feel free to, in this space we're going to hold together, say their name out loud as we hold this space for a few moments. For all of these beloveds, both named and unnamed, for their well-being and their resilience, we pray. Amen, and blessed be. Our next hymn this morning is We Will Carry Each Other, and you can find it. It's the sheet of paper. This is a hymn that we sang a few times at the conference I was at last week, which I'm going to be telling you about in the sermon, and it was written by Soren Ostenfeld, who is the music director of the UU Church in Malden, Massachusetts. And we've sung it once before, but it's been a while. So I invite you to rise in body or spirit and join in We Will Carry Each Other.
For my daughter, I want to give you what I could not give you, a world where there is no hurt or grief, a world where you don't know ravaged and sleepless nights, don't know mornings too quiet or the color of dirt in the cemetery. Because I cannot give you this, I want to give you the certainty that you can live fully in a world where there is hurt and grief, that you can meet what is most painful and at the same time turn towards what is beautiful. I want to give you a love so safe that you grow into yourself, certain that there is nothing you can do or not do that would keep me from loving you. I've been loved like this too, and did not know the enormity of the gift until I longed to give it to you. I want you to take it for granted that love is so vast, so unshakable, so true. I want to give you the belief in your resilience, want you to know yourself as a flower that grows more vigorously after it's been cut back. I would keep the hands from cutting you, but since I can't do that, I want to be the soil, the rain, the sun. I want to give you what cannot be given, want to give you what you have given me, the astonishment of living with you in a time of hurt and grief, and the miracle of watching you grow.
A world where there is no hurt or grief. A world free from pain and sorrow. As the poet suggests, despite our longing for this world, we do not live in such a world. We live in a broken one. We live in a complicated, death-dealing world, and we're all coping as best we can. Sometimes we build walls, both real and metaphorical, in an effort to protect ourselves. Do you remember singing a song about this a couple weeks ago for Show Tune Sunday from the musical Hadestown? We build a wall to keep us free, sang the chorus of people diligently working for Hades. Hades was teaching them that song as a way of life because he thought, if I can just keep them busy and preoccupied, and if they keep thinking that things are worse on the other side of the wall, then I'll keep them under my thumb. Divide and conquer. Now, with all the attention on walls and borders in our country right now, you might think that that musical was written recently, but it wasn't. It was not. It was written in 2006. And the stories involved about Hades and the underworld, Orpheus and Eurydice, are, of course, ancient. Humans have been struggling for a long time with this. How do we live in a broken and hurting world? How do we face it? And how do we build the infrastructure in response? Now, don't get me wrong, some walls have their place. Some are healthy and productive. They enforce healthy boundaries, good fences, make good neighbors, and all of that. But this is not a sermon about healthy boundaries. We'll go over that another time. This is a sermon about how to break open the walls of fear and despair to let love in. Because walls don't just keep those people out, they keep us in. It works that way in the human heart too, doesn't it? When you feel hurt or afraid, you build walls to keep the negative emotions over there. If it feels bad, we push it off and put it away, thinking that our walls will keep those feelings out. Our hearts can harden and get locked up inside when we get stuck. Of course, this is all well-intentioned, am I right? You're doing it as self-protection. Because we want to live in a world without hurt or grief. We want our loved ones to live in a world without hurt or grief. The walls we build in response to this desire are in a response to the fact that we just live in an uncomfortable world. We do not live in a utopia. And here's your spoiler alert. It doesn't work. However, there is another way. Because I cannot give you this, the poet says to her daughter, I want to give you the certainty that you can live fully in a world where there is hurt and grief, that you can meet what is most painful and at the same time turn towards what is beautiful. The poet knows that we cannot compartmentalize our world or wall off negative emotions. To live a full life, we must be brave and go through them. Last week, I was invited by UU friends and colleagues to experience this firsthand. In the midst of brokenness, I encountered beauty and love. I was in Albuquerque, New Mexico, attending the UU Ministers Association conference, a gathering of UU ministers from around the country, many of them my colleagues and friends from Minnesota. And we were weary from all of the travel woes and the snow we had been fighting through. We were weary from the pain of the world and the daily assault on our UU values that we're experiencing, especially my colleagues in Minnesota who have been out on the streets for a month now in sub-zero temperatures. And in one of the sessions, Reverend Karen Hutt from Minneapolis talked about what it was like right now and how it feels. And she put it in psychological terms. It was the experience of the loss of the assumptive world. In psychology, the assumptive world is a framework of core beliefs that provide a sense of safety and meaning and predictability. It's that voice that you can count on that tells you things like, I am safe, the world is just, I am worthy, the world is good. These beliefs are the bedrock of our lives. But on occasion, a traumatic event might happen in your personal life, might happen in your community life, such as what is happening in Minneapolis right now, and the assumptive world shatters. When this happens, it can lead to immense distress and pain and disorientation. It can feel like reality itself is unrecognizable. And as Reverend Karen was describing what was going on, I could relate to that sense of my assumptive world starting to shift. Minnesota is my home state. I've told you about this before. I was born and raised there. I've always known it as friendly and progressive and safe and loving and kind. It's a place where people look out for one another and work together for the common good. And when I see images of my home state online or in the news these days, I don't recognize them. My assumptive world, what I thought I knew, has started to crack. Anybody else feeling that way right now? Couple of hands. Anyone else questioning some of the assumptions you've held for a while now about the world? Anyone? A little bit? Any of you wondering if there are parts of your life or your world that you used to take for granted that are changing? Changing? When things change, you might be tempted to let fear take over your system and to build a wall inside to keep you safe. My invitation today is to listen to the poet instead and soften. Meet what is most painful and at the same time turn toward what is beautiful. During the course of the conference last week, we were able to acknowledge what was, what is, and turn towards what could be. Reverend Hutt named this as grief work, which was helpful to me. The loss of the assumptive world can be painful. Bravely meeting that moment and responding to it with love involves grief work, which makes sense because grief is nothing but the heart and soul's response to loss. In other words, grief is what love looks like right now in Minneapolis. Grief is what love might look like for you right now if your assumptive world has shifted or changed at all. And I don't have to tell you, grief doesn't feel great all the time, but the poets and the mystics and the religious leaders all remind us that it is nothing to be afraid of. It's a normal part of life. You don't have to push it away or wall it off. You can, in fact, coexist with it and know beauty and goodness. You can grieve and live your life at the same time. This is called resilience. The only way out of grief is to go through it in love. The only way forward in our nation is to face this time with love in our hearts and grow our resiliency and build a new world together. At the conference in Albuquerque, we sang and worshiped and built connections and resisted and loved the hell out of this world. We did not pretend that nothing bad was happening. We held the truth of our world and these times, and we surrounded one another with love, because that's what Unitarian Universalists do. We side with love. We love ourselves. We love one another, and we love the world back to itself. When the world is unrecognizable, we love it anyway and love it back to itself. That's what we're doing here on Sunday mornings, in case you were wondering what we're up to in worship. We are loving the world back to itself. And if you're wondering what we're up to in every small group meeting, in every committee meeting, in every social gathering in between those Sunday morning times, we are loving the world back to itself. It's what resilient people do. Resilient people and communities don't just magically bounce back or push through. They don't gloss over things. They go through them, and they find healthy ways to integrate what they have been through into their lives. What happens to them becomes a part of them, and that's okay. Everything changes, and that's okay. In his book, Consolations, David White says, "The antidote to despair is not to be found in the brave attempt to cheer ourselves up with happy abstracts, but in paying profound and courageous attention to the body and the breath. To see and experience despair fully in our body is to begin to see it as necessary, seasonal visitation, and the first step in letting it have its own life, neither holding it nor moving it on before its time. The way forward is through. The path of resilience is paved with love." It's a paradox, I know, but you can have joy when you're moving through sorrow, when you're moving through difficult times. You can live fully in a broken world. Somebody ought to hear that. You can live fully in a broken world. Not all of us had a loving mother like in the poem who taught us this. Not all of us had this kind of messaging growing up. And if you did, I'm so thrilled for you. But if you didn't, you can tell this to yourself, and you can start telling it to other people and to one another. And we're going to start by practicing right now. So I want you to turn to somebody next to you and say, "You can live fully in a broken world." Go ahead. Now turn to the person on the other side of you. All right, don't go too crazy. Y'all started chatting. I didn't say chat. Beloveds, you can live fully in a broken world. You can face hardship and despair. You can thrive even in times of despair and sorrow. You can face this, whatever it is, in your life, in your heart, in the world. You can have a beautiful life because there is a love holding you that will never let you go. And grief doesn't get to take your life away from you. When things change, it doesn't mean your life is gone. Grief doesn't get to do that. Grief doesn't take your life, it gives it back to you. Familiar, but changed. And that's okay. Post-traumatic growth is not a return to who you once were, says psychotherapist Sherry Heller. It's an initiation into becoming someone you've never been allowed to be. It's the reclamation of self after a lifetime of distortion, silence, and survival. This path is neither easy nor linear. It requires grieving identities that once kept you safe, shedding roles that no longer fit, and stepping into the uncharted territory of authenticity. Post-traumatic growth is not the end of the story. It's the beginning of a life finally lived in truth. In Albuquerque, we acknowledged this, and we acknowledged that the trauma some of us are experiencing as we watch our world shift before our eyes is not universal. Some of us with marginalized identities have known this for some time and been in the struggle for a while. The world was never just or safe for them, and this process of post-traumatic growth is not new. The astonishment that folks at the center, like myself, seem to be expressing can feel like an added assault. So some folks on the margins are saying things like, it's nice that you're woke now, but did you get up? Or are you still laying in bed? Did you get up and join us? Did you let love call you to action in a world that is so quick to build up walls and divide us? Did you instead become the soil, the rain and the sun, as the poet suggests? This is our call in this moment, to get up and embody the conditions that create mutual flourishing and life, to insist on it, to insist on life, to nurture it. Be the soil, be the rain, be the sun, be love itself, and be loved. Give and receive love. The great theologian Howard Thurman once said, "Resilience is to watch a gathering darkness until all light is swallowed up completely without the power to interfere or bring a halt. Then in that darkness, to continue one's journey with one's footsteps guided by the illumination of remembered radiance." Beloveds, I invite you to remember your radiance, to keep moving forward, no matter what's going on in your personal life or in the world. Remember your radiance. Let love guide you. Love will show you the way through brokenness. It will bring you back to yourself, to your community, and to the holy. Our UU siblings in Minnesota are modeling this for us. Our UU clergy are walking kids to school in the morning and waiting at the bus stops with them in sub-zero temperatures to keep them safe. UU church members, like my parents and so many others, are delivering food and medicine to those people who are afraid to leave their homes right now. The whole community is practicing nonviolent resistance and showing up to love and care for one another, to help their neighbors. In the face of fear and grief, they are responding in love, they are embodying love and choosing life. And you can too. We can too, for we are more resilient than we know. You are more resilient than you could ever possibly imagine. So no matter what is going on, trust this. Trust you can face it and thrive when it hurts. If you have doubts, trust that you are loved and you are capable of loving the world in return. You are getting better and better at staying strong and not losing heart. You are learning resilience. You are learning to live fully in a broken world. Let us do so together. Amen, and blessed be.
We will now offer gifts for the support of our church, fulfillment of our mission, and betterment of our community. On the first Sunday of every month, and this is the de facto first Sunday of this month, because we didn't meet last week, we share the plate with one of our community partners. Today we're sharing the plate with Amore Healing Kitchen. All donations will be split 50-50. Priscilla Shumway will tell us more about Amore Kitchen.
Think for a moment about your favorite meal. Now think about who cooked it for you, and it might have been yourself. More likely it was cooked by someone with love, with comfort, and to provide safety. Now I want you to think for a moment that perhaps you are facing the fight of your life, perhaps a cancer diagnosis, recovery from a major surgery. And think about in those moments when you are needing the most, the best nutrition you can get, the thought of even going to the grocery store, and no less standing in front of the stove cooking yourself a meal, is just like climbing a mountain. This is where a More Healing Kitchen comes in. Based right here in West Ashley, Amor, which means love, it was founded on a powerful but simple premise that food is medicine and that no one should have to choose between a nutritious meal and their ability to eat it and create it. A More Healing Kitchen provides 100% plant-based, organic, and locally sourced meals to individuals who are facing critical health challenges. But Amor is more than just a meal delivery system. It is a bridge between generations, and it is a lifeline for the souls of the people who are receiving the meals. What makes Amor truly unique is who is behind the aprons who create the meals, and that is teen chefs. In fact, if you remember Kate and Pierce Salvatelli, they have been teen chefs for A More Healing Kitchen more than once. These teens learn culinary skills, they learn about nutrition, and the importance of service in their community. They're not just chopping vegetables, they are learning that their hands have the power to help heal a neighbor. Every Friday, a group of delivery angels, of which Jack and I are members, deliver these meals to clients from Wadmalaw to North Charleston to North Mount Pleasant, James Island, you name it, we deliver. And inside the bag of meals is a handwritten note, also a bouquet of flowers. They find the realization that their community has not forgotten them. To date, A More Healing Kitchen has delivered over 110,000 meals. 80% of these clients pay nothing at all. For someone who is immunocompromised or exhausted by their treatment, that Friday delivery is not just food, it is hope. But A More Healing Kitchen cannot do it alone. This is where we come in. Your donation today will be split 50-50 with A More Healing Kitchen. In addition, if you would like to volunteer, there are lots of volunteer opportunities. You can talk to Jack and myself during coffee hour. You can also donate meals. So actually someone here in our church recently had breast cancer, and a group of people donated the cost of meals for her for 6 weeks during her surgical recovery. A More Healing Kitchen reminds us that while we may not be able to cure every illness, we can always provide comfort. We can always provide nourishment. And most importantly, we can always provide amor.
If you're here in person, you can place your cash or check in the basket as it is passed around, or click on the QR code in the order of service, which will take you to our donation page. Be sure to select Share the Plate in the drop-down menu. If you're participating online, you may make a donation through the Breeze app on our website. You should see a QR code on your screen now to help you navigate the right page. Select Share the Plate in the drop-down menu. And of course, if you prefer, you may also mail a check to the church. Any checks placed in the basket or mailed to the church should be noted Share the Plate in the memo line. The offering will now be freely given and gratefully received. At this time, I invite Danielle Lopez and Kevin Gainey back up to extinguish our chalice. Those of you watching virtually may also extinguish your candles at this time. I welcome the congregation to read the verse with me as printed in your order of service. We extinguish this chalice flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Please rise as you are able and join in hymn number 1020 in the Teal hymnal. Hymn number 1020, Teal hymnal.
Please remain standing for the benediction. This is Resilience by Reverend Dr. Rebecca Savage. We have blessed each other with word and song. We have embraced the greater truth of our resilience, one that is terrifying to systems that would keep us isolated, afraid, and angry. For when we come together, we remember who we are and whose we are. We are a living tradition of people who love fiercely, serve mightily, and journey humbly with the spirit of life. May we depart in peace. May we depart as beloveds held together in spiritual community wherever we go, wherever we are. May resilience cascade within us until we are together again. Go in peace.